Mystery as FBI shuts down observatory, worker speaks out. The sudden unexplained closure by the FBI of the National Solar Observatory, NSO, in Sunspot, New Mexico, has prompted theories about the reason as to why. The observatory was shut on September 6, and more than a week later with no sign of reopening, authorities are still showing no leeway. The post office in Sunspot has been closed until further notice, with a spokesman for the United States Postal Service telling ABC7, "We were told on September 6 that we would be evacuated along with the surrounding area. We were not told why. We were told just to be out of the area. We remain suspended until we are allowed to return." Otero County Sheriff, Benny House, said, "The FBI is refusing to tell us what's going on. We've got people up there, at Sunspot, that requested us to stand by while they evacuate it." Nobody would really elaborate on any of the circumstances as to why the FBI was up there. What their purpose was, nobody will say. A spokeswoman for the Association of Universities for Research in Astronomy, AURA, which manages the observatory, said the evacuation was due to a security issue. "It was our decision to evacuate the facility." With the closure shrouded in mystery, conspiracy theorists have given their 2 cents and went wild. "I had missed it somehow. I had been preparing and worrying about the monster storm known as Hurricane Florence. Until an old friend called me up and said, 'I need to tell you something, but before we get into that I still have a few details of information about this case before we turn to what the person that called me said.' Now for the facts. The National Solar Observatory in Sunspot, New Mexico has been closed since last Thursday. ABC7 Monday spoke with Sherry Lifson, who is with AURA, the company that CO manages the observatory. The Association of Universities for Research in Astronomy, who manages the facility, is addressing a security issue at this time. "We have decided to vacate the facility at this time as a precautionary measure. It was our decision to evacuate the facility." Lifson told ABC7 there is no timetable for the observatory to be reopened. ABC7 also reached out to the FBI but did not hear back from the federal agency in time for a deadline. The FBI did speak with local law enforcement about the length of the observatory closure. "The FBI is refusing to tell us what's going on. We've got people up there, at Sunspot, that requested us to stand by while they evacuate it." Nobody would really elaborate on any of the circumstances as to why the FBI was up there. What their purpose was, nobody will say. But for the FBI to get involved that quick and be so secretive about it, there was a lot of stuff going on up there. There was a Black Hawk helicopter, a bunch of people around antennas and work crews on towers, but nobody would tell us anything. The FBI did not tell Sheriff House the reason for the closure. Sheriff Benny House did tell ABC7 that his local law enforcement did not have anything to do with either the observatory closure. For the conspiracy-minded, Sunspot is a mere 130 miles from Roswell, New Mexico, and about 90 miles from the White Sands Missile Range. Established in 1958, the observatory predates the unincorporated area in the Sacramento Mountains that was named for it. Now everyone knows what happened in New Mexico, rather you think it was a weather balloon or a crashed craft. The Sacramento Peak facilities are located in Sunspot, New Mexico. The site's name was chosen by the late James C. Sadler, an internationally noted meteorologist and professor at the University of Hawaii, formerly with the United States Air Force on assignment during the early inception of the observatory. Let's not go into what he was looking for. I heard a rumor there was mercury somewhere on the grounds, so I thought the issue may be related to mercury, the metal, not the planet. On a tip from a post on Reddit, a person who covers telescopes and who has been there, I verified the observatory uses a vat of liquid mercury as a float bearing for the giant solar telescope. According to an internal NSO/NMSU document, that bearing is high risk during maintenance. If there was a major mercury spill, it might explain why the feds are there, with FBI providing security. The amount of mercury is said to be in the tens of gallons range. This turned out to be much more than listed, which is next to impossible to come by in the commercial market these days, and if it were weaponized, it would make a very nasty dirty bomb. Perhaps there's some security issue with the mercury on site, but there was an issue with this theory. No one was in hazmat suits and really didn't explain the FBI, because if there was a mercury spill, the Environmental Protection Agency would be there and not the FBI. My friend gave me the name of a lady, that was a field researcher that was there testing mercury, and if there was in fact leaks. He simply said you need to give her a call, so after a little bit of the old Google. It was almost like magic. I was tapping the numbers I had written down, wondering what the voice on the other end would tell me. As I heard the woman's voice, I did as I have many other times. I introduced myself as a writer and told her I wanted to hear her story. For some reason, she knew why I was calling and whispered, "I saw something." Saying it again, she began with her story. On the morning of the 9th of September, the observatory as well as 10 other observatories from around the world, spotted strange solar activity. I should note at this point, almost every observatory webcam and/or website is offline or taken down. She claimed they saw a silver object circling the sun and the sun was responding to it. Someone told everyone to forget what they had either seen or been told. The morning of the 10th I made my rounds, checking for leaks, and there is what I saw. A 7-foot grey humanoid creature, with 4 long tentacles sucking out the mercury. The creature did not respond to my voice commands and just kept on feeding off of the pools of mercury. I alerted my department head and then was told to go outside and stand with the others beside the gift shop. We may have stood there for 30 minutes until a swarm of black helicopters and well-dressed men, I don't think there was a woman in the bunch, anyway, they came in and ran medical tests and transported each of us under guard back to our cars. Each of us was told not to say a word or we would lose our funding. I then asked her why she told my friend and me. Well, because I am not going back. Working with all of the chemicals has to give me cancer. After this call and here in just a few hours, I take my first flight to Cuba, where I hope the vaccine they have will work. I thanked her for her time, and just as I was about to hang up, she warned me something is happening to the sun, something soon. Whether or not if she was pulling my leg or she was telling some version of the truth. I have to wonder if something might be going on, at the time of this video. 4 maybe 5 hurricanes are about to come crashing into the USA. One of which, no human has ever seen. What monsters have awaked? I have a feeling we will soon see. Stay safe and paranoid, my friends.